So let's go ahead and now that is great. Oh, we don't say, are you crowding? I don't care. Sorry, I don't know.
It's on.
Hello, hello.
Yeah.
Let me do so.
Are we ready?
This is
Press the Zoom audio.
hello, everyone. Am I on? Is this microphone on? It's on. Good evening, everyone. Can we find a seat? We're ready to begin. If everyone will find a seat. That's mine.
Here, can you put it right
I
here?
sure can. Maybe. If everyone will find a seat, we're ready to begin devotions. Thank you. I'm so sorry. I announced if everyone would have a seat, we're ready to begin devotions. Now it's official.
However, that which was preordained hath come to pass. Shouldst thou return unto us while revelation still continueth through us, we shall transform thy fire into light. Truly we are powerful over all things, but if thou failst in this task, thou shalt find no way open to thee other than to embrace the cause of God, and to implore that the matter of thine allegiance be brought to the attention of him who God shall make manifest, that he may graciously enable thee to prosper and cause thy fire to be transformed into light. This is that which had been sent down unto us. Should this not come to pass, whatever we have set down shall remain binding and irrevocably decreed by God, the help in peril, the self-subsisting, and we shall therefore banish thee from our presence as a token of justice on our part. Verily, we are equitable in our judgment.
Glory be to thee, O Lord, thou who hast brought into being all created things through the power of thy behest. O Lord, assist those who have renounced all else but thee, and grant them a mighty victory. Send down upon them, O Lord, the concourse of the angels in heaven and earth, and all that is between, to aid thy servants to succor and strengthen them, to enable them to achieve success, to sustain them, to invest them with thy glory, to confer upon them honor and exaltation, to enrich them and make them triumphant with a wondrous triumph. Thou art their Lord, the Lord of the heavens and the earth, and the Lord of all worlds. Strengthen this faith, O Lord, through the power of these servants, and cause them to prevail over all the peoples of the world. For they, of a truth, are the servants who have detached themselves from aught else but thee, and thou verily art the protector of true believers. Grant thou, O Lord, that their hearts may, through their allegiance to this, thine invaluable faith, grow stronger than anything else in the heavens and on earth, and in whatsoever is between them. And strengthen, O Lord, their hands with the tokens of thy wondrous power, that they may manifest thy power before the gaze of all mankind.
O Lord, enable all the peoples of the earth to gain admittance into the paradise of thy faith, so that no created being may remain beyond the bounds of thy good pleasure. For time immemorial thou hast been potent to do what pleaseth thee, and transcendent above whatsoever thou desirest.
O Lord, provide for the speedy growth of the tree of thy divine unity. Water it then, O Lord, with the flowing waters of thy good pleasure, and cause it before the revelations of thy divine assurance to yield such fruits as thou desirest for thy glorification and exaltation, thy praise and thanksgiving, and to magnify thy name, to laud the oneness of thine essence, and to offer adoration unto thee, inasmuch as all that lieth within thy grasp, and in the one of none other. Great is the blessedness of those whose blood thou hast chosen wherewith to water the tree of thine affirmation, and thus to exalt thy holy and immutable word.
Thank you. Thank you. Next, we're going to have a chant by Amira Pils. Thank you. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I'm Vicki Hill, and you all know me as one of the newer Baha'is. So bear with me, this is a first for me. But we're here tonight to welcome you all, first of all, but to celebrate and honor the birth of the Bab. He was the first of the twin manifestations sent by God. And it was the 20th of October in 1819, the very first day ushering in the new Islamic year. He was in the home of his uncle, but this miraculous birth occurred there, this miraculous child, Yahid Ali Muhammad. He rarely cried. He was content and calm and peaceful and serene, like no other baby, unusual from birth. At a tender age, he was seen having risen from his bed with his arms outstretched deep in prayer and praise, tears streaming down his face. Such an unusual child. There are many stories about young Ali, and I'd love to tell them all, but I can only give you a few. When he was very young, he was asleep between his uncle and his father in a bathhouse in Shiraz, Persia or Iran. This child knew things before they happened. I mean, he even told about women who were with child still in their womb. He could tell if it was a boy or a girl. Kind of unusual for a small child. But he woke from sleep, from a nap, laying between his uncle and his father, and he announced that the roof to a bathhouse in the steam chamber across town had collapsed, and 5 women and a child were killed. Now, there was no way that he could possibly know that. And his uncle and his father jumped up and said, hey, listen, you shouldn't do these things. There's no way you could know that this has occurred. So he was calm, he was peaceful, but soon they heard voices in the hallways, people exclaiming how this terrible accident had occurred. 20 women were killed, a bunch of children had died. Unusual. In the end, it came to pass that he had been right. 5 women, 1 child were killed in that accident. So he had information, divine information, things he shouldn't have known, inexplicable knowledge, unearthly wisdom, things impossible to explain. His mission in life was to lay down the foundation for the coming of the promised one. But he was a messenger of God in a succession of educators. Over the centuries, God had sent many messengers: Noah, Zoroaster, Krishna, Abraham, Moses, Buddha, Jesus, and Muhammad. In 1844, he announced that he was the prophesied manifestation of God, the Bab, meaning the gate. He would precede the promised one. The Bab appeared at the moment in history in which the cultures and peoples of the earth were coming together as never before. In 1847-48, the Bab presented essential elements of his religious laws and concepts. I don't say this really well. Kiyamu, Asma?
Kayumulasmo.
Thank you. He wrote letters and letters and letters, and these verses became the Bible for the Bobbies, for those followers, people that followed him. And this was considered the first, the greatest, the mightiest of all books. His life and teachings represent a spiritual revolution that upended the prevailing social, political, and religious order in Persia. His ministry laid the foundation for the vision of Baha'u'llah. The 19th century had become a turning point in human history. The end of the age of prophecy, which began with Adam and ended with Muhammad, and the beginning of the age of fulfillment. And now we have a theatrical piece by Jaleh Silan and Sheila Dean. This is a story about a young woman who in the 1800s, and she's telling about her experience as well as some memories of her life.
Oh, Allah, help them. That's what Banu said when she learned my mother will escape the house of my father. Banu was the best friend of my mom among all the wives my father had. My father was addicted to opium. That's why my parents had ferocious fight. None of my father's wives dared to confront my father except my mom. I'm glad Banu was the best friend of my mom because my mom could open her heart and talk to her. One day, my mom came to Banu and told her, I am very unhappy in this house. This is a miserable life. We are just plaything of our husband, an opium addicted man, yet he considers us ignorant. I am sure very soon his wealth will go up in smoke. The sickening smell of honey and charcoal mixed kills me. I hate it. I can't take this life anymore. And above all, I don't want my daughter take this life. I have only one daughter, and I want to provide a better life for her. Banu was shocked and asked her, how can you do? My mom, with fiery glance, told her, I will do. Fortunately, my mother had an uncle who was Bobby. He was very supportive. He sent a servant to our house. When the servant was waiting by our house, my mother and I said goodbye to Banu and escaped the house. My heart was pounding, but our chador disguised us very well. We went through villages, and after many days, we arrived in a large village by the mouth of a beautiful gorge among the mountains, Karand. My Mother's uncle welcomed us warmly. As soon as I arrived in the house and in the city, I could feel different ambience, different lifestyle. I learned even governor of this village is Babi. They are fighting for the new civilization, and they won't abandon the old traditions. And later, I learned everybody is going to a house in the corner where Tahereh is giving a speech. Everybody wants to listen to her speeches. People are talking about her wisdom and knowledge. I wonder, who is Tahereh? Who is Tahereh?
Was born in Iran to a very prominent family and grew up very well educated for a young girl of her time. As she became older, being knowledgeable became an undesirable trait to have in a daughter or a wife. Although she found herself facing her battle alone, she would persevere and eventually was permitted to teach her faith. Tradition prevailed, though, as she was forced to teach under a veil, being a woman. Tahereh stepped outside of her comfort zone to become a strong advocate for women's rights. A prominent poet as well, she was beyond her own time, having remarkable insight and knowledge, a capacity for influencing others, and a drive to explore the possibilities. Her actions illustrated the absolute independence of the Bab's revelation and also elevated the rank and station of women throughout the Middle East. She advised all women to arise and claim their God-given human rights, encouraging them to strive in the arena of education and social service. She openly and radically advocated the emancipation of women. History has recognized the great contribution of Tahereh towards social reform and placed her among those women whose names will forever illuminate the story of humanity. Edward G. Brown, a prominent British Orientalist scholar, wrote, "The appearance of such a woman in any country and to any age is a rare phenomenon. But in such a country as Persia, she's a prodigy, nay, almost a miracle. Alike in virtue of her marvelous beauty, her rare intellectual gifts, her fervid eloquence, her fearless devotion, and her glorious martyrdom. She stands forth incomparable and immortal amidst her countrywomen. Had the Babi religion no other claim to greatness, this was sufficient, that it produced a heroine like Tahereh."
Mom never missed Tahereh's speeches. She was present in each and every speeches. When Tahereh left the village, she was very unhappy. In fact, she wanted to accompany Tahereh. But Tahereh was wise. She didn't want to catch the eyes of the enemies. That's why she declined. But Tahereh inspired my mom a lot. My mom learned a lot from her. My mom's effort paid off. My mom's effort did bear fruit. And I am so thankful to her. Today, I am sharing with you this memoir when my daughter is a teacher in a Baha'i school, in a school created by Baha'is for boys and girls. I am very thankful, and I pray all the children of the world to be educated. I want to raise my hand like Banu. Oh, Allah, help all the children of the world to be educated.
Beautiful. Beautiful job. Thank you, Jaleh, Sheila, and Arch Hunter. That was beautiful. Thank you very much. Okay, now back to this. Now we know that in 1844, at the age of 25, he announced his station as the Bab, the Gate, and his quantity and quality of writings were extraordinary. He had beautiful penmanship, by the way. And in the first 4 years of his ministry, he penned 500,000 verses. He wrote letters to the King of Iran, Muhammad Shah, and the nation's clerics. In 1847 to 48, the Bab presented his primary elements of his religious laws and concepts. This is when they really accepted his writings as the verses of God. His method of prayer and the purity of life attracted tens of thousands of people to become Babis, as they were called. His message caused such an upheaval in Persian life. It equaled the advent of Jesus Christ in the Holy Lands. Clergy and government grew fearful. His popularity grew. The wealthy and the poor alike were divesting themselves of their possessions to have a simple life, a pure life, pure in spirit, pure in words, pure in deeds. He brought new laws that challenged the prevailing social order. And because his growing interest and the powerful message, the government was fearful. They took him away to question him, supposedly about religious things. However, it was a trick, and they incarcerated the Bab. They put him in prison near the Turkish border and kept him there unlawfully. In 1847, during his incarceration in Maklu, near the Turkish border, he continued to write papers, letters, and tablets. And during this time, a conference was held by the faithful followers in Badesh. His followers accepted the verses and as laws, and they began practicing them as laws. And at this time, this is where Tahiri removed, because she was such a devout follower and believed in him so strongly, one of the hands of the faith, she removed her veil. Never had that been done, a woman removing her veil in public. But she said, women will be equal. And she was standing on that as her truth. She felt so strongly that the writings were going to come true that she stood tall. His believers became victims of the soldiers and the people in power at that time. And they were attacked and they were starved and they were treated poorly. They were killed. They were imprisoned. They were tortured. But they stood fast against the soldiers that came after them. Oh, we lost the page. He was included in that group at Badash was Mullah Hussein. He was the first of the 18 hands of the faith, of the Babi faith. Thank you. All right. Okay. The Prime Minister, I'm so glad you all know this. I'm still learning. So work with me here. Thank you. Prime Minister Amir Kabir was determined to strike this cause at the head. He ordered the death of the Bab. He ordered them to kill him. He said, let's just do away with this. And he ordered his soldiers to go out and find 750 soldiers to kill the Bab by firing squad. They lined him up, they tied him up, strung him up, and Anis, one of his devout followers, was determined to stay with the Bab till the end. And they strung him up too. 750 shots volleyed against him. And after the dust had cleared, there was no one left standing but Anis. The Bab was gone. The ropes were in shatters, tattered all around him. So they frantically looked for him. Someone was going to get in big trouble. And they found him in the chamber where he had spent the night before. He was finishing the mission that he was sent out to do. He was giving the last message that he told them he had to complete before they could take his life. So they swore in another 750 soldiers because the first ones refused to volley again. They refused to try to shoot him again. The officer in charge, in fact, resigned his post and left. So the followers of the Bab, after this, this time, it actually worked. And the Bab and Anis were martyred. The only thing remaining in the mangled madness that was left were these radiant faces. Nothing was scathed on their face. Beautiful expression, while everything else was destroyed, the head of the Bob remained unscathed. Okay. It was as he had announced that no one would take his life. He would not leave this earth until he had finished his mission. And that's exactly what he did. There was a whirlwind of dust that ensued, and it covered the entire town. Earthquakes. Sorry. Earthquakes. And it blinding dust. Excuse me. And the Bobby followers were scattered, but they were able to steal away the remains of the Bob because the government did not want them to get out, but they stole them away and kept them safe. And many, many years later, Baha'u'llah was able to tell his son, Abdul Baha, to take them to a shrine. And I think we have a slide of that shrine. Yeah. The holy mountain, Mount Carmel. After his death, the new laws and standards were accepted and put into place, and news of the miraculous death spread. But it was determined that his death and this event was the most important religious movement since the foundation of Christianity. And now, enough of me. I'd like to, we're going to do something that's a little different. We're going to have a little fun. Y'all don't look like you're having any fun. So we have, no. Oh, yes, yes. Would they play this song? It didn't happen, so I thought we were skipping.
No.
What? No, well, there's me.
I just want people to also know that for Vicky to read anything is extremely difficult because of her vision. So if she seemed to be trying to find her place, it's because it's very difficult for her to see the printed page. So
Hey,
just
my
let people
place-
know.
Thank you. My place moves all over the page, so, but thank you for that. Thank you for that. We have. Oh, she's so sweet. We have now a beautiful song about the shrine at Mount Carmel. It's gorgeous. Thank you for bearing with us. Anybody tap dance?
It's long. Do you want to sit down?
I will. I
Okay.
could use a chair over here though.
Standing on a mountain mention in the book of names. Circle round in adoration. Circle round your Lord. Circle round in adoration. Circle round your Lord. Circle round in adoration.
Now we're going to do something a little different, have a little fun. We've got a game. It's called Birth of the Bob Jeopardy. And our host, Jim Barnes, he's going to explain to you how it's played, and I hope you'll all join in. Let me get out of the way. Go. So.
Hello, everybody. All right, so we're gonna have a little game here. We're gonna split the room in half, and Sheila, I'm gonna need your help because I'm gonna be reading the questions and I'll need to see which side of the room raises their hand first. So if you watch them closely for me, be greatly appreciated. Watch out for the little people. Make sure that you see their hands too. Now, some of these questions are really easy. Some are a little bit more difficult. This will set the stage for tomorrow night because we're going to try it again. We'll see how difficult the questions need to be tomorrow. All right. So we're gonna split the room in half, and Sheila is going to be my Vanna White, even though it's a different game. But so you're going to keep an eye out for everybody, please. She's going to try. All right. So this is how we're going to do it. It's kind of like Jeopardy, kind of not. We're going to have you raise your hand. You raise your hand, I'll call upon you and you'll answer right or wrong. We'll say yay. You know, we've got some points here. You can keep track if you want, but we're just here to have fun and play the game. All right. No prize. Yeah. Oh, no $50,000. Nothing like that. I know they're playing Jeopardy now. So yes. I know. I said that was a different game, but yes. That's right. That's good though. I'm glad you're paying attention. That's right. All right. I am just about ready to go here. Yes, we will. So what I'm going to do is no sound effects. I didn't know how challenging to make this for myself. Okay, we're going to start with this little bitty person back here, way in the back row in the red. Pick a category. Dates 10. Okay, here we go. Dates 10. The Bob was born in 1819. How old was he when he declared his mission? All right, yes. How old? How old was he? He was 25. All right. Ingrid, pick a category and a amount. Places, how much? 20, okay. Where did the Bob first publicly declare his mission? Publicly. Okay, we had two people on the same side. Next. Mecca, very good. I was going to give you the answer, but he actually publicly declared at the Kaaba in Mecca. Okay, so I got to make the questions a little easier tomorrow? No. All right, we'll see. All right, so go ahead, pick a category. Oh, John, pick a category and a number. Mission for 30. What is the Holy Book of the Bob? Close enough, right? Is that close enough, friends? Bayan, right? Very good. All right, go ahead, pick a category and an amount. Followers for 40. What promise did the Bob make to Kudus? No, not that I'm aware of. Very good. That he would meet he whom God shall make manifest. Very good. All right, John, go ahead, pick a category and an amount. History for 50. In December of 1851, it fell into the hands of non-believers. Ooh. Yes. The Bob's what? No. Good guess. No. Huh? No. Here we go. Are we ready? The answer is the sacred house where the Bob declared his mission to Mullah Hussein. He is, just to give you a little history, his mother was then in possession after his passing, and his mother sold it to a non-Baha'i, or non-Babi. All right.
Yeah.
No, so we're just having fun here. Go ahead, pick a category and an amount. Go ahead. Places for how much? Where was the Bob born? Oh, way in the back. Very good. Yeah, we knew that one. See, I have put some easy ones in here, some difficult ones in here. Go ahead, pick a category and amount. Follow 50. Who was given the prayer, is there any remover of difficulties? It was given to an individual specifically. The Bob's wife? The answer is the Khadija Begum, the Bob's wife. That's right. This was in answer to the fact that she saw him one night in receiving the message, receiving something. He was just a big glowing white light, she said, so to speak. All right. Yes, go ahead. Pick a category and amount. Jaleh. Mission for 50. Prior to his martyrdom, to whom did the Bob send his documents, his pen, his seal, and his rings? That's an interesting question. It's an interesting, it's actually, I'm going to put it, I have it down as Baha'u'llah, but how he phrased it wasn't to say to whom Right, it was, right, it was, I don't remember exactly how it was phrased, but it did go to Yaha for a period of time. But in the end, it was supposed to be for he whom God shall make manifest. Very good. So go ahead, pick a category and an amount. Places for 30. In 1847, 1848, where was the Bob imprisoned? I had an answer for both, and it's actually both is correct. For his 47, then he was moved to the other prison, but Maku first. Go ahead, pick a category and amount. Places for 50. In what city is the Bob sepulcher? Or I should say, in what city is the sepulcher of the Bob? Somebody got a hand? Oh, Ingrid? Very good. Hey, I'm just trying to see if, because there's new believers here that might have the answer. Also, it was a long pause, so. All right, Ingrid, pick a category and an amount. History for 30. Who designed the Shrine of the Bob? And the answer is William Sutherland Maxwell. Very good. Pick a category and an amount. Followers for 30. Who among the Bob's first 18 followers did not attain his presence? The answer is Tahare, yes. He wasn't a letter of the living. Very good. All right, pick a category and amount. Yep. I'm sorry. Did I have that listed wrong? Oh, sorry. Yeah. I thought I had it as letters of the living. If I did not, I apologize. Go ahead. Dates 50. The same day of the Bob's declaration, he was born. Sue had Abdul Baha back there. All right, very good. Sue, pick a category and an amount. Mission for 20. By the way, thank you very much for your help. I guess I'm doing okay because it's taken a little while to get these answers. Anyway, established by the Bob and confirmed by Baha'u'llah, Baha'is use this at least once every month. There we go, the calendar. All right, pick a category and an amount. You can't see it. Is that a little, should we turn these off and bring up the other ones? We'll try that and make it easier for you. History 40. Ooh. Okay, that's better for everybody. In 1843, she knew the Bob was the promised Qayyim. In 1843. Who? Which would be, that is correct. Because of the vision she was allowed to see. All right, go ahead, pick a category and amount. Mission for 10. Who does the Bob have the title? Sorry, why? Yes. That's a good enough answer. Yep. Yep. That's right. He's the gate between the past ages of prophecy and a new age of fulfillment for humanity. Some of these questions were in that PowerPoint that was on the screen earlier, just to let you know. Go ahead. Mission for 40. Islamic Sharia, let's try it again. How do you pronounce that? Sharia, thank you very much. Law was suspended by Bobby Law at this conference. Who rose their hand? Yes, that's correct. It is at the conference of Badasht. All right, go ahead, pick a category and an amount. Gilbert, go ahead. Places, 40. Where was the Bob martyred? The answer is Tabriz. Very good. Pick a category and an amount. History, 20. Renowned for his honesty and trustworthiness in all affairs, what type of work did the Bob do before his declaration? Where's the hands? I thought the, Merchant, way in the back, Merchant. All right. Pick a category and an amount. What's for 40? Dates for 40. Okay. What year were the Bob's remains interred on Mount Carmel? What year was the Bob's remains interred? Yes. There's a year, a particular year. What's the year? Huh? Yes, go ahead. Everybody's got it wrong so far, but close. Somebody got close. It's 1909. All right, so this is going in the memory bank for tomorrow's questions. So, all right, so Gilbert, go ahead and pick a category and amount. All right, how many Vahids between the Declaration of the Bab and the Declaration of Baha'u'llah? One is correct. 19 years. A Vahid is 19 years. What's that? Yeah. Well, see, that's what I'm trying to find out, because tomorrow night we're going to do this again. So I'm going to have a little harder questions that look like John. Followers for 10. Who accompanied the Bab on his pilgrimage to Mecca and Medina in 1844? Qudus. There we go. Next try. Okay, go ahead. Pick a category and amount. 3 questions left. History for 10. The Bab's father died when he was quite young. Who raised him? Very good. His uncle. Maternal uncle, Haji Mirza Sayyid Ali. All right, 2 left. Go ahead. Followers for 20. Collectively, what title did the Bab confer on the first 18 souls who accepted him? Over here. The others of the living. Very good. And finally, the last one. From his declaration to his martyrdom, how many years did the Bab have to deliver his message? 76? No. 6. Very good. All right, friends, that's all I got for now. Could somebody get the lights, please? Thank you.
Lights. Lights for the blind. Uh-oh. Hey, Jim, excuse me, Tall. Can you pull that up for the short people? Thank you. Tall people can't live with them, can't do without them. Okay, next we have well, first of all, I would like to thank every single person who had a part in our program today. Would you mind standing? We have beautiful Connor, we have Arash, we have so many people. Please stand if you participated in tonight's program. Thank you. And thank you. Thank you. There was more than that. Please stand. Well, we appreciate you. We truly do. And now the last but not least portion, there's a beautiful song we'd like to sing. It was written by one of our team, Lauren Haddad Freeman, and we'd like to sing it for you. Now, the choir, anyone who'd like to join us up here? Oh, come on up, choir. Just tell them, come on up. Yeah, if you're here, come. The name of the song is Glories Be to Thee, O God, and it is taken from a prayer by the Bob. Yes, we'd like to sing it for you now. Yes, we'd like you to join us.
And the choir meets on, come on, the choir meets on Saturdays here at 2.
And we'd love you to join us. I need the words. Okay, yes. To thee, O God, glory be to thee. Glory be to thee, O God, glory be to thee. Thou art God, thou art God, thou art God, thou art God. Who hath existed before all things. Thou art the who will exist after all things. Who art beyond all things. Thou art God, oh Lord. Glory be to thee. Glory be to thee, O God. Glory be to thee. Thou art the who is. Thou art God, thou art God, thou art God, who is supreme over all things, knoweth all things, created all things. Thou art the God, thou art. Glory be to thee, O God. Glory be to thee. Thou art God. Thou art God. Thou art God. Is merciful with all things. Embraceth all things. Judgest all things. Glory to thee, O Lord. Glory be to thee. Glory be to thee, O God. Glory be to thee. Thou art God. Thou art God. Thou art God. Thou art God. Thank you so much. That was our choir after just one short practice. Just think how great we're going to be. Thank you all so much for a lovely evening. Thank you for